Hey guys! Today I'm doing kind of a different kind of review. I'm going to be reviewing the entire series of Bloody Mary, and I don't know how to say the author's name. I mean, I keep trying, but it keeps screwing up, so I'm just gonna leave the name on the screen. I'm actually going to try to do manga reviews from now on once I've completed like the entire series. I mean, there's some manga series that I absolutely love and would love to review, but it's like the author is either like completely stopped working on the series, or it's like very, very slow updates on this series. I'm looking at you, Loveless. But there are so many manga series that I absolutely adore, and I just never really talk about them much because it feels like I should be talking more about books, not mangas, even though I still consider them books. But I'm changing that because I really love manga and anime, and I want to talk more about at least manga on this channel since anime technically isn't book related. I may talk about anime on my second channel. I don't know yet. But I definitely want to include more discussions and videos about manga. So this is the starting point. Technically, I've made a couple of manga related videos before this, but this is the actual starting point. Also, since I've never actually done a manga review, I'm kind of going to structure this in a different way than I do book reviews. It's like I want to talk about the story or the plot, then I want to talk about the artwork, and then about the characters. And I'm going to be as spoiler free as possible because I know a lot of people haven't read this series, and it actually just finished. The volume 10 came out last month, I think, and that was the last volume in the series, and I'm so sad about that. Now, Bloody Mary isn't your typical vampire story. Our main character, Bloody Mary, wants to die, but for some reason, no matter what he does, he's physically not able to die. But since he can't die, he seeks out this priest that he hears has the power of exorcism. The only problem is, the priest that he finds, Maria, I'm not 100% sure how to say his name. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong. I will leave it up on the screen if I remember, so you guys can let me know how to say it, because I really have no clue. But the priest that he finds, Maria, shares the same name as the priest he was looking for, but he himself doesn't have the power of exorcism. But now that he's heard about it, Maria really wants to find out as much as he can about this power and how to obtain it, because he hates vampires more than anything else in life. And he'll pretty much do anything to get this power, including letting Mary work as his bodyguard until he can obtain the power and kill him. I think one of the best things about this manga series was all of the mystery and manipulation that was pretty much dominant throughout every book. And I will admit the mystery was also one of the most annoying things, because I'm a person that likes to figure out what's going on and solve the mystery on my own as I'm reading. So I stopped several times to try to work things out in my head. And granted, I should have figured it out. I'm mad at myself for not figuring it out. But at the same time, I'm happy that I didn't, because that made everything at the end such a big surprise. The last volume also had a really interesting plot twist that I've never seen done in a manga series, and even though it broke my heart, at the same time I loved it. And something else that is worth mentioning is the last 2 volumes of the series made me ugly cry. This is actually the first time that I've ever cried from a manga series. I mean, I've gotten sad and upset at several points in manga series, but I've never just outright cried and cried and cried, and I didn't think the waterworks were ever gonna stop while I was reading those 2 volumes. Next up, I want to talk about the art. Now, in all books, the plot is very, very important, but when I'm picking out what manga I want to pick up next, yes, the plot is important, but if I don't like the artwork, 9 times out of 10, I will not pick up the series. Which may seem kind of stupid, but as an artist, when I see some cringy art style, I just can't make myself, I can't even talk. I can't make myself read it. I can't. Now, from the cover of this, I didn't think I would like the art style. And the plot was kind of weird. I didn't want to get it because of the plot, mainly because after reading Twilight, I haven't really picked up any kind of vampire-related books for reasons. But after I saw the artwork for this series, I had to get it. This book has one of my favorite art styles. I mean, I have like 5 or 6 different types of art styles I like to see in manga series, and this is probably like in the middle of that list. It's so good. And I mean, it's the perfect blend of like horror, but light horror, and gothic. And I absolutely love it so much. I especially can't get over little moments where they have Bloody as this little chibi. And it makes him even cuter. And it's like, vampires shouldn't be this adorable. Granted, he does several things that don't make him adorable, but look at that crying face. How is that not cute? I absolutely love this art style. And if it wasn't for this art style, I never would have picked up this series, and I'm so glad that I did, because it is so good. Then last but not least, the characters. The only complaint I really have about the characters isn't really anything to do with the characters. It's just the fact that I would have liked to have gotten to know them better, like in normal, non-threatening situations. It's like the entirety of the 10 volumes, there's always something dangerous going on, and that's just how you get to know the characters. There's a couple of little moments that are only like a couple pages long where you get to know the characters in like normal settings, like cooking and reading, or just, you know, stuff like that. For the most part, you only get to know them in dangerous situations, in which that's good, because that's when you really get to know how a character is and how they would respond in this kind of situation. But it's like, also, it's like I would like to get to know them as normal people, not just vampire and priest. It was also a little annoying that each character had a sad or tragic past, but at the same time, their pasts all tied into the story so well that it was very easy to overlook. Mary is by far my favorite character out of everyone in this. And I really love the contrast between Mary and Mara, from their looks, their nationality, their personality, and to their family situations, which I can't say anything more about the family situations because that would be such a spoiler. The characters are really why I wish the series wasn't finished. Mangas, while they have to have a good plot, are mainly character driven. It's like, if you don't care for these characters, much like a book, you're not going to want to continue on with the series. But some books can have like really crappy characters, but such a good plot that you want to keep going. But in manga series, I found that if I don't like the characters, there's no way I can continue on. Because you're physically seeing these characters. You have a solid image of them. And it's like they're going through what they're going through, but also it's like they're kind of easier to relate to because you can physically see them, at least in my case. So if I don't like the characters, I'm not going to care anything for the series, and I'm not going to continue with the series. But I love these characters so much that I am very depressed that the series has finally come to an end. It's like, I don't know if there's going to be another spin-off series or what. I really hope that there will be. But, I mean, I'm just so sad that these characters, my time with them is over until I reread the books. And then it won't be the same because I know what's going to happen. Well, that's it for my first manga review. Now, I am open to criticism in the comments about anything that I should have done differently, or something I said like really didn't make sense to you that you read the series and you didn't agree with. I mean, this is all personal opinion for one, but I'm open to like any kind of criticism you can give me, as long as it isn't hateful. Oh, and rating wise, I gave pretty much all of these books a 4 or 4.5 out of 5 stars. I actually think volume 10 is the only one that got a 4.5 stars and the rest of them are just 4 stars. I have a link to my Goodreads page in the description box below if you want to go check out my actual ratings for the books, because I can't remember off the top of my head. I do know that I'm going to be reading more mangas by this author, because if I loved this series this much while not liking the plot, I am pretty sure I'm going to love her other series. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!